Ezell, my father, while I was growing up, had been called Cooter, and sometimes Florida, and a resident of Mobile County. Ezell was a native of Pensacola, Florida, born on DeSoto, DeSoto, Alabama, for the past 70 years. Mr. Ezell was a veteran of the U.S. Army, serving in WW2 and the Korea War. He was a member of the FW, Post 250. He was employed in the past as an engineer for Crescent Towing. Cause of death was hypertension and coronary atherosclerosis, spelled A-T-H-E-R-O-S-C-L, on Louise Brown. His certificate of death, state file number, is 101. The coffin he was buried in was gray in color, and the America flag laid on the coffin, and there was lots of flowers standing on each side of his coffin. It was nice to see his brother Preston there, and also Mary. Mary was the daughter of Doris and Harold Lawrence. The flag was handed to Donna, my sister, and she later handed to Robert Ezell, my brother, and all of his war medals are in the hands of Jimmy Ezell, my other brother. I will now start here by saying just this. Consequently, this family information is as accurate as I could undertake due to intensive study, and that it will be understood that I cannot be held responsible for any possible inaccuracies that may have occurred. If there's any need for changes, feel free to do so, and by all means, let me know also.
That is recorder. In case you say something that I need information.
Oh, that's a recorder of what we're saying.
Yeah, in case you have something like you was talking about, you say, talking about Stuart was in the Navy.
Oh, yeah. Mama said when she first married my daddy that he was a champion boxer in the Navy. And there was one man defeated him. And he outweighed him some. And he outweighed him some. And before he took the title, Daddy broke his nose. Yeah, he taken the title from Daddy. But Daddy broke, remember Alice? You know your cousin Alice?
Yeah.
Her brother was in the doctor's office, and there was a man sitting next to him. And they got to talking about working on the bridges and all. He said, my Uncle Stuart he said, what was his full name? Stuart Lawrence. No, he was in the Navy. In Stuart Lawrence. He said, he says, I take the title from him, but he says he broke my nose. He never forget Daddy didn't have no broken nose, broken body, but that man had a broken nose. Yeah, he was skinny. Daddy was little, but you can't tell. He was the middle 140 pounds, small weight. Like y'all small, you're not very tall, some of you. But it's the truth. Mama wouldn't have told it. And he did have a temper. You didn't get a hold on the easy side, honey. I tell you right quick. And Mama, on her side, she had a temper. So y'all get it from both ends.
Well, I heard that Grandma, I heard that Grandma and her sisters, they had their little fusses. Like Nora would, Nora would hide behind a tree watching Grandma because of a man.
Of a man, yes. And we lived out in what you call a field, big old field, but they had houses around there. But we had a giant field. And, what to say?
Where you lived?
Yeah, I know talking about where we lived.
Was that in Mobile?
Oh, and Aunt Nora lived right next to Mama. You know, lived pretty close.
Yeah.
And Aunt Nora come and was bumping in front of the house. Bumping in front of the house. And Mama had a hole. She had a hole in the floor. And Mama take a mop. She'd take that mop and hit Aunt Nora on the head.
Hit her on the head?
She'd hit her any place she could hear her. She had been there.
Why was Aunt Nora always hiding?
She had two men over there, and she wanted to know what Mama was doing. And Mama wanted to know what she was doing. But Mama gave her some cracks through that hole in the floor. She was up on that floor.
Where was that at? Was that in Mobile?
No.
Or where?
Stanton Road.
It was on Stanton Road?
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't, but about 16. Anyway, you could come through that field. We had a giant field. And I rode the first car I ever rode when I was 15. And I'd put it in gear, one of these old gear kind. And I'd ride around the field with it.
Whose car was it?
Oh, no. I think it was Uncle and them bought it. Got a car from somewhere. And they let me drive it. And then Doris come over, Ezell. Betty, can you drive? I said, yeah, I can drive. I'm 15 now, just learning around the field. And so we went to her house, and she had a sailor that was drunk, and he passed out. And he passed out, and we got the car. She said, you can drive. She couldn't drive then. And so anyway, I got behind the wheel, and I drove 70 miles an hour down to the next place. And she never did know I couldn't drive. And when we come back, the sailor was sitting on the sidewalk waiting for his car. We was crazy, I'm telling you. We was crazy, too.
Was Harold was the first one to marry into the Ezell.
Yeah.
Right?
Doris.
Doris. How did, is that how you and Dad met? Or when they got married, the family got together?
I've been knowing your daddy all my life. All our life since we was children. Young, real young.
So
Because Esther and Harold got married first, see. So that made it closer, and we was younger, not younger than them. And he was I remember he come to the house one time in the army uniform. And I will tell you this. He said, Yvonne Wells was a pretty girl.
Who?
Yvonne Wells.
Who's that?
Well, she was somebody that, her brother went on the ship down there, and they lived right next door to her. They had a house,